Hey guys, it's another amazing Red Friday. Man, I wish you could smell around the office right now, and in a good way. We had an amazing lunch brought in today for everyone that was wearing red, kind of part of our culture here at Low VA Rates, get everybody amped up and just really focused on service members and the veteran, and that's why we were red on Fridays. You hear this every week, so I'm not going to go much further, but back to the great food that we brought in. We had this amazing taco truck. Now, if you don't like street tacos and bacon-wrapped hot dogs, you got to try these things. Cinco de Mayo is coming up, what, tomorrow, I think? Or Saturday, Sunday. I'm losing track of time. But anyhow, we had a wonderful time today. Everyone's feeling nice and ready for the weekend. Today, our video is going to talk about how you can negotiate the best home cost, price, whatever we're going to call it. When you're out looking to buy a home, specifically veterans, you want to make sure that you're getting the absolute best price you can for your house. Now, over the last couple of years, it's been a really hot seller's market. Okay? Now, what that means is home prices have been going up. For those veterans of ours and others that don't have VA loans, if you've owned a home over the last 3, 4, 5 years, you've seen your home values just in some places skyrocket to levels that are much higher than they were before the housing collapse. But even if you got in the last 2 years, you've seen some appreciation. That's what happens in a seller's market. What that means is you're not going to really have a whole lot of leverage when it comes to negotiating a good price to buy a house, because all of the power is in the seller's hands. There's tons of offers. I remember last year hearing stories on the news of like a home going on the market in California and the seller getting 40, 50 offers within the first day, many of them over the asking price. Well, what we're starting to see, even though it's still a really great housing market, we're starting to see the power shift into the buyer's hands. It's not completely a buyer's market right now, but we are seeing less offers going in on homes. We're seeing homes sit on the market longer. And so what this does is it kind of shifts the power to you, people that are buying homes. So what we want to talk about right now is some of the things that you can do in a market like this to really bring all the power back. Maybe not the power is not the right word, but to make sure you're getting the best possible price when you're going to buy a home. Okay, so one of the first things I think of is a solid pre-approval. Now, we have videos all over our YouTube channel, Facebook, on pre-approvals. I'm not going to go into a pre-approval today and how you do that, but you want to get a really solid pre-approval. People know Low VA Rates. Sellers that are selling their home, they've heard of Low VA Rates. If they go to the Better Business Bureau website or almost anywhere online and look for our name, they're going to see 5-star reviews all over the place. They're going to recognize the name Low VA Rates, and your real estate agents are going to know this is a legitimate pre-approval. We do not pre-approve borrowers who then later don't end up getting the home. That's a real mess for everybody, and so you want to make sure you show up with a pre-approval, hopefully from Low VA Rates, or at least somebody that really carries some clout with the seller, okay? Another thing you want to do is you want to work with a VA experienced agent. Okay, when I talk about an agent, I'm talking about a real estate agent. It's going to help you get the best price for your house. These agents negotiate on your behalf. We see it all the time. And if they're good at what they do, they can help you make sure, number one, you're only putting offers on homes that you're likely to get approved for, or likely to have, your offer is going to be accepted. And they're going to make sure that they're not wasting your time putting offers in on homes that are too much. Those of us that have been out home shopping, we've all gone and looked at a house that the sellers just kind of lost their mind. They're in love with their house, their emotions are tied to it, and they're asking way more than what that house should be. Your agent will help you weed out that sort of stuff. Okay, let me find my eraser here. Some other things that you can do to help negotiate the best possible price for your house. Okay, quick closings. Okay, that brings you back to dealing with a lender like Low VA Rates that's good at what they do. But in your purchase contract, if you let the seller know that you can close quickly, that's going to help you get a really good price for your home, because they're going to once again know that you know what you're talking about. Also, the larger deposit, okay, or earnest money that you can put down. That also elevates you against those other people that might be making offers on the home at the same time. Those of you that have saved up some money, even though VA loans do not require a down payment, if you can show on your purchase contract that you're putting money down, it helps solidify you as a stronger buyer. All of this helps you when it comes to negotiating the best possible price for your home. Now, because my team put costs up here, I'm going to finish up. If you have any questions, think about them now because we're almost done. There's additional costs involved. We're not just talking about the home price, but the cost of doing the loan. That's where we come in as a mortgage company. One of the things that we promote very heavily here at Low VA Rates, and if you haven't heard of this, maybe next Friday, our entire Red Friday video will be on this. But ultimately, we have another video that I would invite you to go look at, and that is when veterans shop, when they can get lenders competing, when veterans get lenders to compete through shopping for a home loan, veterans always win. So here's what I'm going to close with. We have a $250 lowest, I'm going to use the word low. Regulators and auditors, they don't like the word lowest. So low APR guarantee. Here's what that means. I'm challenging you. If you're out buying a home right now, even if you're already there on contract, bring us a copy of your closing costs, your loan estimate from your lender, and if we can't get you a lower APR than what you've got, we will pay you $250. We sent a check out this week. Look, we'll be humble in defeat. We don't always win, but I bet you out of the tens of thousands of loans, tens of 20s, 30s of thousands of loans we've done over the last 4 or 5 years, I could count on probably both hands and both feet less than 20 checks that we've sent out for $250. We don't lose often. Please, let us help you keep your closing costs, your interest rates low, help you get the best price for your house. Do we have any questions that have come in yet today? We do. Okay. Sorry, I'm rambling.
Sorry. Brian Earhart, how often does the market shift from buyers versus sellers?
Brian, great question. And if you couldn't hear Kristen reading here, Brian asked how often well, I guess people can see it, right? But how often does the market shift from a buyer's market to a seller's market or vice versa? Not often. The economy really drives that. I would say if you go from a buyer to seller market or seller to buyer's market, more than once every 3 or 4 years, that would be an anomaly. Anomalies happen, but generally speaking, like we've seen, I don't recall exactly, but most people would peg the housing collapse and the mortgage meltdown, that great recession that we had recently, back to about 2008. Okay, housing prices just plummeted. It was carnage. Well, here we are, 10, 11 years later. It hasn't been a buyer's market this entire time. It was tough, but it hasn't been a seller's market this entire time. Right at 2009, 2010, that was a strong buyer's market. Why? Because people were willing to sell their house for whatever they could. There were foreclosures and short sales everywhere. So if you were a qualified buyer and you had the money or the ability to get a loan, right after the housing collapse, that was a very strong buyer's market. Well, as the market continued to improve and unemployment dropped and the economy got strong, that shifted us more towards a seller's market. It was hard as a buyer to get approved for a home. You know, mortgage companies tightened up, housing prices were going up, interest rates were slowly going up. Well, now what we've seen is there's been enough time as a seller's market. As I mentioned, we're now shifting back into a buyer's market. So I think it was Brian that asked that question. Just, call us up if you want to know. Go to Zillow or Redfin, some of these real estate sites out there, and just do some research on what dictates a buyer's market compared to a seller's market. Last thing also on this topic, you can have a really strong seller's market in, let's say, Utah, where we are, yet you could have a really strong buyer's market out in California. Different regions of the country at different times are dealing with different situations. Any other questions? Okay, so guys, have an amazing weekend. I don't know where you are right now, but the sun is shining here in Utah. Spring is definitely in the air. Wear red on Fridays. We have a whole new slew of red shirts like this. We'd love to send them to you free of charge, you and your family. All you have to do is wear any red shirt, red hat, red pants that you have on Fridays. Go put a picture on the internet, social media, preferably, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hashtag Red Friday, tag Low VA Rates. We will get in touch with you. We'll send you some red swag. Thanks for listening today.